Oh, I think you couldn't hear me. Now you should hear me well. So welcome everyone. I was saying we're going to start in a minute. The topic for today is the start of the creation of a map of science. It's a very ambitious project, and we're going to start today. So the way we're going to construct the map is simply by fetching some data from an open source repository and do the map. So we're going to collect the data about journals of science and how they relate to each other. So the first thing we need to have is a list of journals, and then we're going to find a way to measure how similar they are, pairwise. I realize that it's a bit short as an introduction. What are maps of science and why journals and what are we going to do with it? I just uploaded on YouTube the past episode from last week, where I explained the reasons for this project. Let me share with you in the chat of this stream. Let me share the link to the Google Doc, where you will find all the links to the YouTube replays and the rest. But for today we have just an hour, actually 58 minutes. So let's get started. So I'm working. I'm going to code with you live. If you have any question, I have the window of the channel in front of me, so I should see your comments. Don't hesitate posting them. And here we go. No, it doesn't work. Just give me a second. Why? Yeah, simply that. Okay, so last week I finished streaming by creating an empty project called Maps of Science. And, oh, sorry, I can hear my voice in the, I should, yeah, fine. So I have created this empty project last week with this single file, Maps of Science, and it was empty. It was simply that. So in Java, this just means, that's the default method that is going to be executed when you launch the program. I want simply to add some code that will call the API of OpenAlex. OpenAlex is this wonderful open source data source for bibliometric data. I want to call this API and retrieve the list of all journals they have. So what I have done in like 5 minutes before starting streaming, I've copy-pasted some code from past projects, which is useful to make a call, HTTP request to OpenAlex. But as in the spirit of this stream, I don't prepare, it's really live. So as you guess, the next step is for me to go and check the documentation from OpenAlex to see what should I be doing actually. So OpenAlex API doc for documentation. Oops, oh yeah, okay. yeah. Fine, so that's how, yeah, so my shortcuts from OBS interfere with the shortcuts from Firefox. So I'm gonna retrieve sources, right? And not all sources, but just journals. Why? Well, because it's already pretty big. So I'm clicking on sources. So get a single source. Actually, oh, exactly, and I checked that. Check out the Japanese sources tutorial, a Jupyter notebook showing how to use Python and the API to learn about the sources in a country. So I don't want a country, I will all journals from all countries, but this example might get me started. So, and in particular, as you see, it gives me the base API route I should be using. So it's https://api.openalex.org/sources. So let's go to my code. I don't have a special port. So it's not HTTPS, HTTPS. Fine. Then I don't have a filter per country. I want all countries. So I should filter per type, right? I just want journals, I don't want all. So how do I get filter sources there? How do I filter per, I think it's type? Where is type? Type, journal, yeah. Easy. So back to the filter. Let's try that. So it's filter here and type. So I have the memory of a goldfish, so I have to come back here. So it's filter, semicolon, and then what we filter on. So it's journal. So it's type journal. It's super simple. Type journal. Right. Yes. And that's almost it. I've learned from reading the documentation of Alexa that I should add my my email address if I want to the call, if I want the if I want the call to be efficient. Where is it? Where is it mentioned? Rate limits, I think it's there. Exactly. Look at there. Look here. The command pool is where everybody is, so you're gonna be quite limited in terms of speed of retrieval. But if you want to have to be in the polite pool, you just add your email address. It's mail to plus your email address. So I'm gonna do that. There. Mail to. So my email address, which one should I put? Some kind of public one. Okay. Then it's gonna build a request. So it's not a I don't have a I just send a request. It's not a post request, it's a simple get request, so I don't have a body to send. Why? How do I send? I can't remember how to do a request without. Oh, you see, request. It's not post. It's like, it's not a post request. It's a get request. So I can just remove that, I suppose. And the client is that. How do I send a request to the client without a post? Must be obvious, but I never use it. Ah, okay, got it. Sorry. Oh, so this part is to handle the response, and the response is going to be, if I look back at the documentation, it's get a list of sources. So the result is a JSON file. Oh, I have to page the results, which is a pain, but you know, that's normal. Maybe I can filter out some fields. Yes, look at that here. Oh, you don't see it. Let me show you. How can I show it to you? Yeah, maybe like that. Select fields. Display only the ID, display name, and ISSN. So I just use a select parameter, and then a comma separated list of fields that I want. So that's super simple. So what did they say? Select, okay. So I just add, oops, that's here. I just add select here. So what do I want? I want the ID for sure, and the name. I think that's enough for first. ID / display name. Yeah, that will really shrink the volume of the data that the API is going to send back to me. By the way, I don't need that. Well, let me just clean a bit this code. So I'm not going to receive a byte array, I'm going to receive a JSON file. Okay, all good so far. What did I want? Oh yeah, this paging thing. Well, that's gonna be awful. If I was super motivated, I would actually have a I would just first count how many pages there are, and I have the count here. Then, yeah, I suppose that's what I have to do. And then I would launch parallel. I would launch, yeah, Mathieu. You've been there. So Mathieu, what I have in mind is that I do a first call where I'm gonna get the, the count, and then I do something fancy, but I have the code ready, so I have no excuse. Then what I do is that I do multiple calls in parallel because I have the code ready for that per page. So maybe not all pages in one go, but why not? Let's be crazy. Java is great. Okay, let's do that. So this is the initial call where I'm going to just retrieve what I'm looking for is simply to retrieve the so the meta information that is going to give me the total count of journals. So let's do that first. Yes, small steps. So if the response call is successful, so this is where you have this 200 status code, then, and I'm sorry for all the Python and JavaScripter people here. Yes, Mathieu, you're right. You're right. I'm gonna go crazy first, and then I suppose you're right. Yes, 4 to 8 threads in parallel. But in any case, I have to read the the information in the JSON file that is returned, and oh my God, you won't believe how Java has no native way to just parse JSON. You have to write code for it. I personally don't care. So what you see here is me looking at another project just to look for a place where I already have written these boring lines. Oh, just there. Oh, that's okay actually. Well, that's okay, more or less. Okay, so I copy paste that from another project back to our project. So I retrieve the string from the body that is returned by the API. This string should be formatted as a JSON object. That's what this thing does. And JSON object returned is the thing returned by or created by the reader I personally don't care and don't object. I'm fine with all of that, but some of you who might practice other languages, you might be surprised by the complexity of all of that. Anyway, so then I have my JSON object, and inside I want to retrieve the count. So it's in meta count. Okay. So my guess is that it's simply get JSON object meta, and inside I want to have, it's not a string, right? It's a number. Get number or integer or something. Count. And that, my friends, should give us, so I'm going to create at the top a count. Count journal, total count journals. So that should give us the number of journals in the OpenAlex database. Right, I mean, theoretically, I've never run a piece of code that would work in the first try. So in any case, it gives me an error here. Oh yes, okay. Okay, let's do things seriously a bit. So in Java, you shouldn't have all your code in the main method. The main method is really just the thing you trigger at launch, but then you should organize your code in specific places just to keep your code organized. So that's what I'm doing now. So we're going to create a method called getJournals. Right, and that's within this method that everything will happen. Why is it complain? Oh yes, of course, because the exceptions should go there. Okay, fine, all fine. And what was I saying? Yes, and once the code is finished, so if the status is good, do these things, otherwise just print error when retrieving initial count of journals. Anyway, and once we have, and then, well, here we should print the total number of journals in OpenAlex plus, no, not that, plus this number. Okay, that looks perfect and great and whatever. As you know, in practice, things never work the first try, but I'm always hopeful that one day it will happen to me. That would be so great in a live stream, right? So once I have written this code, I'm going to launch it. So what it's going to do is it's going to launch the main method. The main method is going to create an instance of the file we see here, and it's going to then launch this method, which is actually right below. Is going to create that. Let me check if I did any mistake. No, I mean, we'll see, but it seems pretty okay. Well, hopefully it will work. So go for it. run. So, oh yeah, sorry, you don't see what I do. I'm just there. You know, this is the name of the file that we have open there and that we have been working on. And I'm just right-clicking on it and click on run, right there. And then if we look at the bottom, we will see the result and any error will be shown there. So first call to the OpenAlex API. Woohoo! It works. Fantastic. There are too many journals, 194,000. But I don't care. I made a code that runs the first time I launch it on Twitch, you know, and now I can pretend that it happens to me every time. I'm a bit surprised. I would have thought that there were so much fewer journals than that. I was really expecting like a couple of dozen thousands, not close to 200,000. So there is an issue here. Not in terms of code, right? But in terms of well, I could just ignore it, but let's check again. So the different types are journal, repository, conference, and ebook platform. Oh, maybe I should put type in double quotes? No, surely not. Surely not. No. Maybe. Let's go back to filter. Weird. Read about filters. Yeah, let's do that. No, you see, filter, type, book. No, okay, maybe that. Maybe I should filter per works count, like works count above. Yeah, but let's, I mean, I would really like to filter a bit because, you know, it's like a tenfold difference what I was expecting and what is returned. So that's going to just increase the processing time a lot. If works count was, you know, if I could filter out the journals that have less than 10 works in them, but I'm not sure I can filter per, you know, can I filter per? I can't filter that per, like above or superior to. No. Or maybe I want one that has an ISSN. Yeah, let's pick ones that have at least an ISSN-L, because that's a low bar, but it might remove, you know, very, I mean, it should remove things that don't have an ISSN. So how do you do multiple filters? Just written there. Filters. Ah, I had seen that. I seen it somewhere. Oh no. I'm just there, maybe. Oh, look at that! Works count above this or that. Exactly what I wanted. So that's what we want. Works count. I hope works count. So it's comma, again, memory of a goldfish, so gonna type journal, I think it was comma, and then works count. And we're gonna have a low bar, right? We just want to have journals that did not exist just for one day. So let's take $50. $50 is good. 50 means a journal that existed for a couple of years, maybe 2 to 3 years. I think it's okay. So now let's check that I think it's not the exact name for that. Oh yeah, works count. Okay, super. Okay, good. We can rerun. So just for the history, we had, yeah, close to 200,000 journals. Now we restrict them to only the journals that have at least 50, you know, articles or any forms of works and publication in them. Run. Yeah, that's not much better. 160,000. Okay. Okay. That's, well, that's something. Let's put 100, and I promise I will stop there. 100, because I want to do paging today if I can, because that's so boring to do. I don't want to leave that for tomorrow, for next week, I mean. 143, so that's decreasing. I think we should leave it there, because otherwise recent journals that have not published 100, well, 100 is big in any case, it's too big. I'm gonna go back to 50. Okay, so now paging. So I should get, okay, fine. So for paging, I should do multiple calls. And the good news is that in one of my in the web application I developed, which is called No Code Functions, for some reasons, I can't remember why, but I mean, I wanted to be prepared to have multiple calls. So even if actually each call is done just once, it's ready to be done. It's ready to be done multiple times. That's complicated. Let's go back there. So I should rename that get journals count, right? And then I'm going to create the new code, which is get all journals paged. Why? Oh yeah, of course. Hop. And inside it, I'm just copy pasting the code from a previous. Oops, sorry. Yeah, Mathieu. Yes, yes, yes. I had yeah. I was curious about that too. And I was thinking about using Neo4j, you know, to have this wonderful graph representation of these objects. It's a lot of you know, engineering work. It's not my specialty. They mention in the basically they don't have a documentation for Neo4j. I think they have that for BigQuery or something, and documentation for Elasticsearch is coming. You know, I want to move fast, and yeah, one day. And also the size is so big that yeah, I could host it on a private server, but a lot of engineering work. Yeah, so another time. So what was I saying? That yeah, we want to do paged calls. So the URI, you know, the address where we do the calls is the same. I just copy paste it there. But I need to add the paging logic. Search sources. Oh no, get list of sources. Get list of sources. Page. Okay. So the parameter is called per page. So 50 per page looks great. And then you show then you say the number of the page. Okay, per page and page. So the URI should be, so I'm gonna have a loop. Page size equals, or I'm tired, equals 50. Number of pages equals whatever we had divided by the page size, and it should be rounded to floor. No, it's not floor. It's, what is it? Round, but round. Well, okay, I can't remember. That should be fine. And the leftover I should count. So the leftover is, can't remember, it's mass. Yeah, I should remember that. It's mode, I think. Come on, I use that a lot. Come on, Clément, what was it? Mode, I think it was mode. Why don't I see it? Max, min, multiply, round. Oh, no, I remember now. So it's called int leftover, you know, the last page. I think it's simply that. Oops. And then you have this weird symbol, which is percentage. And that gives you, you know, what remains after you divided total count journals by page per page size. The leftover, I mean, this percentage symbol gives you, you know, what is left over once you have divided one by the other. I think, right? Yeah, as far as I can remember. So then you loop for so I know I should use I, the letter I, or index, but I'm really today in the mood of writing long variable names. So we start at page 0. I hope they have a 0-based index. So, well, actually I don't need to say 0 here. Oops, sorry. So from the page 0 to the page to the total number of pages, and then increase the number of pages per one, increment it. Yeah, for each of these things, I mean for each of these pages, do the dance. Yes, and that's the issue, and that's, oh, Mathieu, I would really have preferred to put all the things at once, you know, all the call to the pages at once, not just 4 to 8, because I'm gonna have to introduce another paging stuff. Well, maybe I should, never mind, I don't care, I'm gonna, what is sure, I should not create a client each time, that's for sure. The same client is going to be, yeah, the client should be created just once. The client is the thing that, you know, makes the calls. So I should create it here, but just once. Why is it complaining? Yeah, because I don't need that. Well, I'm a bit lost here. I don't need that. You know, just things I copy pasted blindly from my other project, but just looking at it. So the request is going to be, yes, that. Completable future. Yeah, I know, Mathieu. I'm just, you know, I'm just a bit afraid that I have a lot of pages there. So yeah, I should, you know, premature optimization is bad, but I'm just doing it, you know, YOLO, up. So we're gonna receive not a byte array, we're gonna receive a JSON of string. Why is it complaining? Maybe it just wants to throw an error. No? Okay. Then I should just copy whatever I've done here. I mean, not exactly, but more or less. Ooh. So it's not. Oh yes, okay, got it. No, bit lost with all these open parentheses. But that should be okay. Why is that complaining? I think I'm missing a parenthesis has not been closed somewhere. Yeah, the futures object, I don't have it. So again, just for the sake of copy pasting in a very lazy way. I've seen somebody, Mathieu, I've seen somebody who was able to spawn so many calls in an async way using, you know, the Stream API. So impressive. But okay, the source code of my project is not 1.5, definitely not. Okay, looks super good. Okay, so I should, as I said, I should adapt processing API, Mathieu, I don't know what you mean. What was the name of the... Oh, okay, per page. Okay, cool. Page size. Why is it complaining? Oh, maybe it wants a string value. Well, we give you a string value then. And then per page, and then the page number is simply page. And then we take the string value of the current page index. On paper, that works, right? I'm not exactly confident. Paging is a pain, a pita. And then what we do at each, we should store the results somewhere. So what do we get? We get results, and it's an array. Okay, fine. I'm completely fine with that. Oops. So we retrieve an array. Results. So it's an array, not a JSON object. A JSON array. And for each, can't remember how we loop on a JSON array. Let's have a look. For each, I suppose. Yeah, I suppose so. But I'm never comfortable with this. Iterator on an array? Weird. Why not? Let's iterate. I like the syntax of iteration. So iterator results. Because then I have these fancy shortcuts in NetBeans that writes the iteration loop for me. So for each we have actually a JSON, so I hope we can cast a JSON value into a JSON object. I'm not sure we can. Yes, like that. I hope so. I hope it's authorized. So next result. Okay, so how do we store things? Honestly, I don't want to, I'm not a big fan of databases. I know it sounds strange, but for the sake of experimenting and going fast, I'm gonna just write the results in a file. Oh, but how do I do that? Ooh. I suppose I will just add the JSON objects in. I will add the JSON objects in a list of JSON objects. That's what I'm gonna do, and I'm gonna treat this list later. Oh, but it's gonna be concurrent access and stuff. Yes. So that's why, you know, I stay in the spirit of databases, but I use their minimal versions. What is the name of this list that can be accessed concurrently? I suppose it's concurrent linked list. Really writing that? No. Well, I suppose we can. Java, we can Google that. Oh yeah, sorry, Oh, Vector, Mathieu, you are you joking? No, I'm saying that because it's a super old API, so I'm not sure if you're joking or if you know something I don't. But the Vector API, are you talking about the new Vector API or the one from 15 years ago? Java list concurrent access or... You know, is there a concurrent list in Java's JDK? Okay, this stuff should be enough. Concurrent linked queue. It does things I don't need, I'm sure. But that should be, that's all I need. So how do I instantiate it? Oh, that's a queue, okay. Queue, okay. And if I want to be super fancy, no, let's not be too fancy. That's enough. We have 5 minutes if I really want to be super. Oh. No. I mean, the Vector API, which is coming, is going to do great stuff, like you say. but I'm not. But for parallel, but I'm not sure the vector API from 15 years ago was actually. It's super deprecated. Yeah. Concurrent link queue. I mean, I just wanted not to throw an error when I'm gonna add stuff to it. By the way, I don't need to iterate, or do I? Yeah, okay, yes, I suppose I do. Queue, add, next result. Bing, done. And if there is an error, please let me know at page plus current page index. No, doesn't like it. Oh yeah, but I forgot the plus sign. Why doesn't it like it? It's super. Oh yes, because I code it from, well, I code it from, so, too bad. Okay, so each call is going to be added to the futures, like a collection of stuff to launch, and then it's going to launch all of them. And then when everything is finished, I should just loops. So sorry for that. I'm going to just print that into a file. So string builder is this way in Java that you can create very long strings in a way that doesn't take too much time at all. Okay, so for JSON object, so that's one journal basically. One journal. Ooh, I'm not sure we can. No, I'm sure we do not iterate on a queue like that. And I'm a bit lazy here. Java queue iterate. Oh yes, you do. Oh no, a linked list, but I don't have a linked list. Or is it a linked list? Yes, it is. Is it a linked list? It's a linked queue. Okay. So let's Google that again. Java list queue iterate. Oh, I see what I should do. I should do some stuff, but well, an iterator. Okay, super simple. Let's not overcomplicate it. Iterator queue, then my little NetBeans shortcut. Okay, so each journal has an ID and a display name for sure, always. And that's the two. These are the two fields I retrieved in any case. So, as string builder, append next get ID. Then I'm going to add a pipe sign. Then append. So of course I'm screwed if there is a pipe sign in the name of the journal. Which is bound to happen, right? Because the Murphy's law. Display name, right? Just that, yes. Display name. Maybe I should. Oh, get string, maybe I should say. Yeah, I'm gonna replace all pipe signs so that I'm not disturbed by it afterwards when I'm parsing. And then I'm appending an end of line character. And then I'm writing all of that to a file. New, no, write, that's the new results, or all journals.txt, all journals.txt. I write the content of the string builder and no options. It's complaining, it wants to throw an exception, I guess. Not at all. Why is it complaining? Oh, it wants a path, I think, right? Yes. Well, take my path. Yes, it throws an exception. And that's it. So why is it complaining about the while? I think it's going to tell me I can simply loop. Yes, but I like iterating. Oh, the leftover. Yes, I didn't do the leftover. Well, I wouldn't need really to do it. And I'm a bit tired. I don't... Well, I leave that for future research, right? So what could go wrong? I think I'm gonna first do a first try with just 10 pages. Just with 10 pages. What can go wrong here? If the response status, oh yes, what can go wrong is that I'm gonna throw too many, I should slow down the pace of, I should introduce a thread sleep here. Like for 100 milliseconds. But that's gonna be super fast in any case. Well, I have to try it. Okay, let's go. Oh, before I let go, I should actually, execute this method we just created. Okay, go. So if it works, we have retrieved the 10 first pages of the list of all journals. So basically the 500 first journals in OpenAlex, which will be a big success. So go. Let me show you the... So it didn't work, but just for one call. Maybe it's page 0, but I don't know because I have not put... I don't know. So I should look at the results, what did it write? So let me go through the actual code. Where did I write that? Oh, there, okay. So I have, let me show you. It has created a file with the results and it's 30 kilobytes. So there is hope. I'm opening it for you. Look at that. Fantastic. And it has, I would expect 450. No, 500. Exactly. So why did it? Oh, we have non-Latin characters. Okay, interesting. But the UTF-8 encoding works great. Why did it? If somebody has it, I would be curious. Because what did we do? Okay, there is one. Okay, there is one. If we start at 0 and we have a number. Yeah, let me think. We should have 550 because we started at 0. It's 10, but we started at 0. So there is a page it failed to get, and I think this page is the page 0, right? The way we could try it is by, oops, we're gonna do a simple attempt where I'm gonna do number of pages 0, and it should still return 50 results, because from page 0 to 0 it should execute once. I'm not super good at that, Mathieu. You know, the logic of catching exceptions and stuff. But anyway, so I think it's gonna fail, and why? It's because it actually starts at 1, but so I just launched it again with this, you know, paging from page 0 to page 0, and I would expect it to fail, yes. So that's good. So it means that we should go from page 1 to whatever, to the total number of pages. I'm almost tempted to, yeah, I'm going to implement this, you know, this last. I'm going to do it. You know, this last page where you have just a few extra results, I'm going to do it. So that's, so this leftover is there. So it means it's an extra page, right? But just for this. Oh, but no, it's, no, I'm sorry. No, that's easy. If the leftover is, no, it's super easy. I don't have to do that. If the leftover is not 0, I should just add an extra page. That's as simple. Or I should round to the, I should simply round to the, yeah, well, I should round to the upper, to the, you know, to the integer above. But as I'm lazy and I don't want to do that, I'm just going to do if leftover is above 0, then just add 1 page. That's as simple as that. So I just remove that. Then increment the number of pages by 1. And it's going to capture the leftover. Yeah. Okay, and now I can rerun everything, but for all pages with a kind of, I don't know if it's conservative or not, but like with a 100 millisecond, I'm gonna be crazy, I'm gonna reduce it to 50 milliseconds. Did I start it at 1? Yes. Perfect, 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 perfect. No, the people at OpenAlex are very nice. Let's see. Okay, so we're gonna do, well, I'm gonna just print the number of pages just so that we can see how many calls it does. And let's go for it. So why is it oh yeah. Okay, and let's go for it. Done. Okay, let's go. So it's gonna do, oh no, wow, look at that, so many errors. So I stopped the run. So there is something, either it's there's something that just didn't agree. What if I just increase the, I should have the response status, because you know it's going to tell me what happens. So let's try again. I just increased, maybe I was too greedy. I increased the pace. So I have added a line of code that will print the error code. Look at that, no error. It was 50. That was the 50 millisecond. It didn't like it. That's too, but I have no error sign, and these calls are being sent at the moment in parallel. So, oh shit, 403. No, 403, 403. What is 403? 403 sounds like unauthorized. Yeah, and I suppose it's fair. Ah, okay, well, thank you. You saved me the. Yes, something. Yeah, I mean, I was just wanted to be a bit of a cowboy here, which is bad. So what I suggest is that I stop trying to, you know, accomplish an exploit or whatever, and I'm gonna run that in a good citizen with some hefty pause between the calls, so that the siren will not call me and so that I do not disturb the servers. So I'm gonna put 500, which is, you know, and then that's the end of the stream. I keep the string rolling so that if you stay, you're gonna see the results. But otherwise, I'm gonna just leave it to run and basically work on something else. So thank you for staying. Thank you, Mathieu, for being such a nice colleague and comrade in basically this coding project. And it seems to work, right? It's just a matter of making API calls in a nice manner. And next week, we will have this list of journals. So next week, the next step is for each journal to retrieve a list of the authors who published in these journals. And why? Because then we're gonna compute similarities between these journals. And when we have that, we are that close to having a map of journals, aka a map of science. So fantastic, right? Okay, I'm launching the API calls with a 500, like a half a second pause between calls. And I show you the results next week. Thanks a lot for staying. Thank you, Veronica, for being here. And see you next week. Just trying to think how many. I just hope it's not gonna take hours. I'm just gonna. So I make 2 calls per second. So if I divide that by 2. Yeah, wow, not good. Shit, I'm stuck at work. No, I don't think so. It's gonna take 1600 seconds, which is half an hour, right? Yes. No, Mathieu. It should take half an hour, I think. So anyway, I'm gonna keep streaming for the next half an hour, but just working on something else. But you are welcome to stay. Mathieu, as you know, it always goes okay, right? That's how things work. Oh no, shit! It already. No, okay, it already goes astray. What's the issue? Okay, I should really check the API limit. Rate limits. 10 requests per second, but I'm far from 10 requests per second. Ah, yes, you're right, Mathieu. Yes, you're right. Or maybe there is, that would be nice if there was a, you know, method in the async, you know, in the async method of the Java client that would do it for me. Java async, how do you say that? Interval between calls. Okay, so of course he doesn't know about that. So Java 11 HTTP between, not calls, but between requests. Between asynchronous request. Yeah. Okay, nobody answered that. I should ask ChatGPT, maybe. Okay, let's try sleep. Let's try ChatGPT. Oh shit. Oh, there's a delay method. Great. Oh, all of that. Wow, crazy. So what's the first method? Not exactly that. Non, c'est pas ça. Okay, it's a bit... ChatGPT is a bit broken here. Oh, fantastic. Oh, it's not exactly that. Shit. I think that's what I need. So I need, okay, so I'm gonna do 5 requests max per second, which is conservative given that I can do 10. Gonna write semaphore here. Five. Complicated, but doable, I think. I'm gonna do a timeout. Indeed, that's pretty good practice. And that's where things are different. Feature response. Oh, that's what I did, right? exactly what I'm doing here. Just blindly following the advice of ChatGPT. So I don't need to do that, it seems. Okay. 5 calls per second. Okay, let's launch the game. I'm gonna do it for 10 pages first. C'est parti. Okay, so the requests were sent too quickly. I should shut down the scheduler in the end, which I forgot to do. Ah, fait chier. Bah oui, c'est pas bête ça. Okay, trying again. Okay, no error at all. So I suppose we have been good citizens here. Just deleting the bits of code I don't use anymore. I think there is nothing more concurrent. There is nothing. It's not concurrent anymore. But okay, I launch it again. So it's about 5 calls per second. Go. 5 calls per second, and they are 3,200 calls to make. 5 fois 6, 30. Divisé par 5, ça fait 600. Oh no, shit. Pagination error. Maximum results of size of 10,000 records is exceeded. Cursor is required for records beyond 10,000. Cursor paging. Okay, what is cursor paging? Okay, I discovered there is this cursor paging thing. So I implement that next week. Okay, thank you for following so far, and I'm gonna add that to the documentation of this episode. Have fun, see you next week, bye bye.